They are 1.5 point favorites over Penn State. I think we've kind of set up the narratives here about Penn State and the opportunity ahead to do something, to win the kind of games that James Franklin has not been able to win at Penn State. But again, for Notre Dame, they just won that, right? Like they won the game that their program had not been able to do for a couple of decades here. So you've got an elite defense on one side, you've got an offense with a lot of weapons, but again, maybe some questions about how Andy Kotelnicki is going to call the game. How do you, big picture thoughts on the Orange Bowl semifinal?
I think it comes down to the defenses for either one of the teams. And I look at Penn State, they're built well in the front seven, and they need to be going up against Notre Dame because the strength of Notre Dame is the run game. It's more of a challenge because Notre Dame's personnel is better than Boise State, and you have to focus on more than just the running back. You have to be able to account for the quarterback, and that becomes a challenge too. But I think if Penn State can dominate with their front, the pathway for Notre Dame becomes much more narrow because we might actually have to see that game where Riley Leonard has to drop back and win on his arm. I flip it over to the other side. Notre Dame's secondary should have no problems bottling up Penn State's wide receivers. That group is not great to me. But I look at what Penn State has been able to do and the way that their run game has come on. They start leaning on dudes, right? And like they did it against Oregon, the Big Ten championship. They had some huge runs there. And then again, what in particular, the inside run for them against Boise State was a really good play. And I think Notre Dame's going to have to be able to say, okay, we're going to trust our secondary to get the job done. And we're going to have to figure out with our front how we're going to handle some of the quarterback run that they like to do, but the two-headed monster at running back. So I think the defenses are going to be the thing that